3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. It's complete to Jerome Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weaver. And he rifles one incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. Time for a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Now let's go. 3-19.
McCaffrey following the penalty. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now let's go. Green.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 19 carries, 56 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Looking to throw. Weaver over the middle here to Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Here we go.
I don't believe that this opening drive was surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? To throw on 2nd down. Weaver. And incomplete on the deep ball. Jaron Brown, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. To throw on 3rd down. Weaver. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Shaquille Barrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Heading back out, the Chargers offense, we get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go. 3, 9.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Green, 39.
This is McCaffrey on the give. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun, Weaver. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Stafford on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd down, Collins. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford, and that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The Chargers getting set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
All right, here we go.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll get this up to about the 40. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Weaver. He gets it to Brown. Good play. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go now.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A run, it's Clement. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
And Browns got it. Touchdown, Chargers. Antonio Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now here's Baldwin. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now Collins, and he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. To throw from his end zone. Weber in trouble. It's loose. The ball bouncing around. And it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
This is Collins on the handoff. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Now let's go.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Weaver. And that is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On third down, Weaver. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now. But this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Tyus Bowser in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down. I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's third down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first down, Weaver. Wide open receiver complete. Oh, he sheds himself free. 30. 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 86 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. This is first and goal from about the 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
319! 319!
To throw on 2nd down. Weber. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3 and not giving up 6.
He's got it. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gordon. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career. Moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Throwing is Stafford. His throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Charger defense now making their way back out onto the field. And they have been disruptive in the backfield. How often when we see this, as we look at some of these highlights, is it just better players getting in there versus scheme that is defeating the offense?
It's a great question, and I think oftentimes we rely on scheme. We fall back and say, well, the scheme broke down, rather than giving credit to the players making plays. But when the scheme does break down, you're looking at oftentimes just being overloaded. Too many guys coming from one side or one particular area, then you can actually block them. You know, if there's two guys there to block them, they'll bring three, and that third guy will get through. So when you want to max protect there, meaning getting everyone in, your whole offensive line, your tight end and your running backs, trying to make sure that you're never outnumbered by the defensive guys coming in. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chiefs are a two-point conversion away from tying this thing up. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Stafford now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Dalvin Tomlinson able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Stafford, it's caught. Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. Here's a first down run with Collins. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Stafford over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And now a fumble. The ball's out and picked up by the Chargers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense.
And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That one goes for 24 yards.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Back to throw. Weber. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. Looking to throw on second down. Weaver. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And there's a man they call AB. Always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds a number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Looking to throw. Weaver. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And Gano's kick is right through. And it's now 13-8. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down. On first down, Stafford here. And his throw is incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Drops it underneath for Collins. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a second down. Again, it's Stafford. Baldwin with it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Officially
a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Throw left side complete. That's Collins. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Stephon Anthony. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The left side completion to Jones. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes.
Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Green 39! Green 39!
To throw on 2nd down. Weaver. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well, so now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic, but downfield in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career. Moving in past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Here's Collins. Still going. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Alex Collins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is it just...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Stephon Anthony in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it all...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so barring a first down, they could conceivably get the ball. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. On third and goal, Collins. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Hurry up, here we go.
1st and 10.
Weaver.
Man open left side is Brown. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys? Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Well, as